Hey, you guys, y'all listen. I had to go ahead and get on early. Y'all know Auntie be tired. I had to go on and get on early. Y'all see, I had a good show last night and couldn't keep my damn eyes open. I had to get off. So I was like, let me go and get on early while I got a burst of energy. And then when I get off, if I go to sleep, I go to sleep. But because I'm getting on early, I probably won't even end up going to sleep early. Um, I got to thinking about though, with me being so sleepy, my body starts to get tired. Like it be real tired around certain times. Hey, Miss Yam, Miss Candy Yam. Yam, did you remember Sharon when Sharon was on here? Did you remember Sharon? Hey, Miss Kimberly. I told y'all Auntie be tired, so I got to go ahead and get on. I know it's 5:45, child, but around 7 o'clock, my body starts to wind on down. It starts to wind on down. I have to go ahead because last night I got on. I got on at like 8:30, around 9, about around 9:15. One of my eyes had started going down. I stayed on for 2 hours though, but around 9:15, that one of my eyes started going down. The reason I had to jump off last night because Justice for Dolph and the Truth had me so tickled, but I, the other eye started to go down. That other eye started going down. I was like, I can't read comments. Ain't no need of me being on here because I can't talk with my eyes closed. Because I do believe that I caught myself because my head started bobbling. I was like, yeah, it's time to go ahead and let it go. Hey, Kenny Adams, M. Rose, what are you doing? What are you doing? Mo. So I'm sure people are probably cooking. It's too cold to cook. Yeah, I probably just need to make some chili. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make some chicken noodle, some homemade chicken noodle soup, and then after that's gone, I'm gonna make some chili. It's cold as hell. I just had to turn the heater on in my house. It is freezing, and it's 52 outside, but it's like a cold. It's a real cold 52. It's a real cold 52, like a cold 52 temperature that I've never felt before. Like it don't have any warmth to it. It's really cold. We're gonna let more people come in. I'm trying to think of what I want to eat. I want something spicy. I guess because it's cold outside and I can't think of anything quick. I I don't buy noodles because if I had some of those Roman noodles like what everybody be buying, I guess I would make some, put some in the microwave or whatever they do with them, and put some crushed pepper on it because I do want something spicy. We just got some snow off some roads and nowhere to put it. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. um we're just waiting for more people to get the notification. A lot of people are probably gonna have to just start coming in late because they're probably not even home from work yet. I just didn't feel I didn't feel I was just I didn't want to wait until 7 o'clock because if I wait till 7, I'm gonna be, this type of weather have me real lazy. Like my body gets really lazy. I'm talking about when I'm at home, I just want to lay around. I wish we had a Wahlburgers. You know what? It may be a Wahlburgers in the pyramid. It may be one in the pyramid. Y'all, today at work, I was on my Regina Bell. Believe in Me, that album from like 1999 or 8 or something like that. I was really on that album. I used to love that album. I remember I got that CD. I've always been a real old soul. But y'all, I want some more people to come in. I'm gonna start talking about something that has really had me bothered. And I want parents really, y'all, it's something that's going to have to happen with the youth. Um, because I mean they are being egged on and it's really bad. It really is. I wanted to wait until more people come in here. Um, I guess I can go on and talk about Tasha Daniels. Okay, Latasha Daniels is a young lady who, and I'll talk about something that happened in Memphis. Um, that was that was really disturbing to me. Something has to happen. It something has to happen. I just want more people in here before I talk about it. But, anyways, Miss Tasha Daniels is the young lady who was dating the married man. Okay, and she drove from Arkansas to Memphis and she killed him. Now, here's the thing about that. I was looking at that judge, okay? And it's funny, before I even saw that Art Horn was her attorney, I was looking at that judge. And I remember people saying that that particular judge was one of those ones that had bear watching, because when you start seeing like attorneys like Art Horn and stuff like that start giving them fundraisers and all of that, when they get into their courtrooms, they are going to be partial to those attorneys. You know, that when they've been law firm partners and all of that. People are complaining in Memphis that a lot of judges are being bought and paid for. Now, I've been in this lady's courtroom before, and I noticed the first time I've only been in there once. She was having to look up the law, and I understand they can't remember every law, but I don't know. It's just something weird, okay? Because if you ask me, this lady driving to this man's house, um, it seemed premeditated to me. Okay, it seemed premeditated. Hold on, I want to pull up some stuff. I want to pull up something. Okay, and wait a minute. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Go on now. Because anytime you drive from Arkansas, now she comes from Little Rock, right? She had a whole lot of time because Little Rock is like 3.5 hours from Memphis. So she was on a vengeance. She was definitely on a mission. Okay, hold on. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Now, this is her. What she saying. Okay, she did take the stand. What's up now, Ed? Stand during her trial. Okay, but she's been sentenced today. We're gonna get to that too. Here she go, right here. When she took the stand during her trial. Okay, y'all, it's a lesson up in this right here.
Would you please state and spell your name?
Latasha Daniels, Latoshia, Daniels, Daniel. My sister cousin, Andrika Brock. My husband, Lonnie Nelson. My baby sister, Ebony Coben. My brother-in-law. I'm sorry.
Now she's sitting there talking about she got a husband, And she done drove all the way to Memphis to kill somebody else's? Okay.
My brother-in-law, Alpha Coben, my middle sister, Nicole Curley, my mother, Annie Marbury, my inner circle and dear friend, Karma Gardner, my lovely auntie, Barbara Ganaway, the matriarch of our family, Nettie Curley, my cousin, Frederick Daniels, Miss Tammy, my prayer warrior, my everything, Aunt Gladys, Curly, and Mr. Henry.
Hey, Miss Lakita.
And I also have LaShawn Hill.
And her husband up in there supporting her too.
And Kendall Simmons as well.
Oh, yes.
Move.
As part of preparation for this hearing, did your friends and family prepare character letters?
Yes.
I'm going to pass you forward a pack of character letters and ask you if you recognize who these are from, okay?
You want me to read them or just, like the name, just look to see?
If you want to just list off who they're from, you can. If the court would like that for the record.
Annie Hill,
I'm a forward.
As well as the additional ones received after that fire.
Show the character list.
Before incarceration, I was a clinical mental and behavioral health therapist where I was in private practice for many years. I also founded a nonprofit organization called Links of Love.
What does Links of Love do?
We help, well, after incarceration, we started doing business as Love 365. And at that time, we began to help young adults navigate through life to be spiritually, mentally, and emotionally healthy while navigating through life, so that they may build resilience and thrive through life.
And that was, you expanded on that after you were released on bond.
Yes.
What else did you do employment-wise while you were on bond?
I worked at Whataburger, where I started off at the bottom and within 6 months became the restaurant trainer.
I haven't.
I left that position and went and began to become a barista at a local coffee cafe.
Does that resume accurately reflect your employment history and your educational history?
Yes, I also started a business where I became a life coach.
Your Honor, I'd ask that be the next exhibit.
Any objection?
No objection.
Show.
So this was a lady that was highly intelligent.
You have an answer to the witness?
Yes.
Ms. Daniels, I'm handing you another pack of photographs. Do you recognize those photographs?
I do.
What are those from?
These are from two various community service projects where the young adults, although we work through spiritually, mental, and emotional resilience, we also give back to the community. So these are two projects. So one, we did a project where we painted the church parking lot so they could have lines so they can park. And then the second one was a back to school giveaway where we gave back school supplies to the local community.
Are those the only two community service projects you've ever done?
No.
Your Honor, I'd ask that be made the next lettered exhibit. A cumulative exhibit, please.
We show the service pictures as cumulative. Exhibit C.
What other types of service-related acts have you done?
Before incarceration, I was involved in numerous community organizations where I did community service all the time through my sorority, Sigma Gamma Rho, being a member of Eastern Star, Prince Hall affiliated, the National Social Workers Association, Black Social Workers Association. I was always involved in community service, even through my church.
Did you continue community service after being released out on bond?
I did that through my nonprofit as I work with the young adults.
Did you have more than just those two activities, or were
just
just
ask
those
you?
just two that we have pictures of?
Those are just the two that we have pictures of.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
Ms. Daniels, I'm handing you a stack of books. If you would please look through those and tell me if you recognize them.
I do.
Please tell me what those are.
These are journals and books that I have written once I got out on bond, and that they are now available on Amazon and other local.
Your Honor, I'd ask that that be made a cumulative exhibit.
Any objection?
No, ma'am.
All right, we'll show the books brought by the defendants, exhibit D. You said, I'm sorry. D. Is it E? Yes, E, I'm sorry. Yes, E.
Can you please look at each of those, indicate the title and kind of a brief description of what they are?
This first one, Authentic, is just a writing journal. A Prayer for Mom, a journal for teens with incarcerated mothers, is a guided journal for teens who have incarcerated mothers. A Mother's Prayer is a journal for incarcerated mothers. It's also a guided journal.
Were those two specifically kind of inspired by your personal experience in custody?
Yes. Know Thyself is just a journal, and it has encouraging words for women as they write through each day.
Yeah, make sure
Kingdom
y'all hit the
Man
like
is
button.
a writing journal for men. Kingdom Teen, 1 Peter 2:9, True Royalty, is a writing journal for teens. Level Up, Gaining Power During the Fight, is the beginning of
She wrote a lot
memoir of
books.
sharing my story and my journey as I went through incarceration and learning to gain power during that time. Feel, Deal, Heal, Acquiring Love, Liberty Over Vulnerable Emotions, is again part of my journey and story as I begin my healing journey through this process.
Now, I noticed several of those are writing journals. Why did you focus on creating writing journals for people?
Journaling is a coping skill that I use throughout all my life, but found it to be very necessary and needed during this particular season of my life.
And did you want to share that with others so
Yeah.
that they could help find that comfort?
Yes.
I want to talk to you next about your mental health, okay?
Yes.
Now, you have a master's degree in social work, right?
Yes.
Well,
I have.
let me do this while we're talking about it. May I approach?
Yes.
We'll back up just a minute. Do you
Get off my
recognize
damn
those documents?
purse, hell.
I do.
What are those?
These are photographs of my degrees.
Okay, and what schools are they from and what are they degrees for?
The University of Arkansas at Little Rock, a Bachelor's of Arts in Criminal Justice.
Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button.
University of Arkansas at Little Rock.
We're gonna
A
fast
master's of
forward because I don't want to hear
Mental
about.
health. that the
I mean,
principal-
she's intelligent.
Yes.
As part of that struggle, since being incarcerated and even before, had you sought mental health professional care?
I have.
What were you doing prior to incarceration?
Prior to incarceration, I had begun to do individual therapy.
Okay. Now, what about when you went into custody?
When I went into custody, there's not a lot there, but I did have the ability to talk to one of the clinicians that come in that's on contract.
And you took advantage of that. You did see the psychologists available
Yeah.
within the facility.
Yes,
And when you got out, did you resume mental health treatment?
I did.
Who did you see?
I saw Amy Miller.
Okay. And that was an individual that provided a letter to the court.
Yes.
How long did you see Amy Miller?
I saw her the entire time that I was out on bond.
Okay.
So for 2.5 years.
Did she ever give you any clinical diagnoses?
She did.
What did she diagnose you with?
She did major depression and PTSD.
And then as part of our preparations for trial, did you go through a psychological evaluation with Dr. Bitting?
I did.
Do you recall Dr. Bitting's diagnosis?
Major depression, avoidant personality, and borderline personality.
Do you recognize while you're in custody this time, do you intend to continue to pursue mental health treatment?
I have pursued it.
Tell me about that.
I have met with Dr. Mason, who is in the facility.
Why does that matter?
Being mentally
Thank
healthy
you,
is
Justice
part of my
Rodolfo. I
overall
appreciate that.
well-being.
Well, I
And
guess
so
I
I
got
am
to tell y'all about
dedicated
that.
to living, and I want to be healthy.
And are we sitting here today because of a mental health crisis?
Yes.
I want to talk to you about while you're in custody, okay? You've been in custody since the verdict came back, right?
Yes.
Have you availed yourself of any other opportunities within the facility?
Yes, the facility has where you can go onto a tablet and complete various courses. And so I took advantage of doing those courses while I've been incarcerated.
Your Honor, may I pass forward a group of documents?
Yes.
$25, $26
But did you find any of those helpful or insightful?
to this court. If I may start with the Perry family. To the Perry family, no words can express the pain that I feel, nor will it ever take away the pain that you feel. But I want to say to you that I'm godly sorrowful. And I know it doesn't take back what has happened, nor does it negate what has happened. But I want you to know that I am so sorry for the pain that I've caused you. To Tabitha, I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt you. And I pray that all of you guys will forgive me. But please know, I never meant for any of this to happen. To my family, I'm so sorry that I've taken you guys through this. Never meant to hurt or harm anyone.
Now I didn't see a teardrop. Okay, you can. All right. Anyways, so she's been sentenced. Let's get on to the sentencing, okay? Because I'm sure she is sorry now. She was mad as hell though, I guess, when she shot him. Let's see something though, you guys.
At the time, and the defendant's potential for
So this judge right here. Okay, that's all I got to say.
rehabilitation or treatment and the validated risk and needs assessment. So I'm going to go into more detail on the course considered.
Now let me just say this. This young lady, clearly it was premeditated. Art Horn is her attorney. Okay, Art Horn is her attorney. How they got it from first degree murder to second degree, I don't know. Because it seems to me, if you drive away from Little Rock, Arkansas, and you stop and get a gun in another town while you're on your way, that the murder was premeditated. So to me, I would think that it would have been a first degree unaliving, but I don't know. Maybe, Art Horn supporting the judge's campaign would have something to do with, but that's the DA's office, though, right? Second degree, that I think that they would um decide on that. But anyways,
Duration. So the first thing is to determine the sentencing range. And so the defense asks for an especially mitigated, that she be sentenced as a especially mitigated offender. And the state says that because the court finds an enhancement factor that should not be applied, according to Tennessee Code Annotated 40-35109, the court may find the defendant is an especially mitigated offender if one, the defendant has no prior felony convictions, what the defendant does not, and the court finds mitigating but no enhancement factors. In this case, the court does find an enhancement factor for the possession of a weapon. So the court finds that the defendant is not an especially mitigated offender. Therefore, the range of punishment on a second degree murder would be 15 to 25 years, the standard range for an offender, and reckless endangerment, a misdemeanor, that would carry 11 months and 29 days in jail. And so one of the things the court has considered is the evidence presented at the trial and the sentencing hearing. And so the evidence at the trial was that the defendant was having an affair with a married pastor. And at the time, the defendant was also married. They had been in a relationship for about 2 years. The defendant and the victim spoke on the day of the murder. The defendant and the victim spoke on the Confide app, where the victim told the defendant that their time had come to an end. And so after the defendant received that information, she went to a gun store. She purchased a gun in Sherwood, Arkansas. From the proof at trial, she's on camera, purchased the gun, giving the sales rep her ID, signing any paperwork that she needs. And then the defendant, when she was in Sherwood, Arkansas, drove to Memphis, which is over 2 hours from Sherwood, Arkansas, 2 hours from Memphis. And so the court finds that, the defendant's actions were deliberate. And although she wasn't found guilty of first degree murder, her actions that she showed, and there was proof from Dr. Bidding that she had major depressive disorder, and also that she had some suicidal ideations. And that was the defense version of what happened. And obviously the jury rejected that. But also Dr. Bidding said that her conduct could be, even if you have depression, you can still be sequential, intentional, and deliberate in your actions. And it appeared that way to the court, because the defendant drove over 2 hours, went to the victim's home, sat and talked with the victim, shot Mr. Pierce several times, emptying the clip. And when the police arrived, she was attempting suicide. But during the entire course of that, the defendant possessed a weapon. Nothing, like Dr. Bennett said, she could still commit these actions even if she had a major depressive disorder. So the court finds that the nature and circumstance of the offense are serious. The victim was unarmed, and it really just comes down to the fact that the defendant said that the victim would not walk her to her car. And that's senseless. senseless to kill someone because he would not walk her to her car. And although the victim was a pastor who did not treat her right and he broke her heart, a broken heart does not justify someone dying. It just does not justify someone dying. It was just senseless. Typically when this happens, the relationship is over. Both parties go their separate ways. But in this case, the defendant killed the victim because her heart was broken. And so the court finds that the nature and circumstances of this offense warrant a lengthy sentence. Again, the statistical information shows that 19 years is a typical sentence for a standard range 1 offender, in the court would give that some consideration. And looking at the nature and circumstance of the offense, the court is going to give that great weight for a lengthy sentence. Also, the court has to consider enhancement factors. And the first factor that the state raises is that the offense involved one or more victims. And the court finds that that factor does not apply. The fact that another person or persons are present when a crime is committed standing alone is not sufficient to trigger this factor. In this case, the 2 victims who were present in the home were Miss Perry and Mr. Perry. And the defendant was convicted separately for her conduct for each one of them.
So basically, she drove to his home that he shared with his wife, and his wife was there. And she's saying that she felt like she drove there because he had told her earlier that day that the relationship was over. She just totally disrespects the man's wife and goes to his home and confront him. I'm told that they all sat down, had a conversation, because his wife is a godly woman. I guess she better than me, because it would have been okay. Don't get me started. Okay. She says that he totally disrespected her by not walking her to her car. Okay.
Those victims. And so the court finds that that factor is not appropriate in this case. The other factor that the state relies on is the personal injuries inflicted upon or the damage to the property sustained by or taken by the victims was particularly great. The court finds that it's not applicable to second-degree murder because it's inherent in the offense. It's an element of the offense. The injury was death, and so the court finds that that factor is not applicable. And then also the court finds it's not applicable to reckless endangerment because it has to be something that is over and beyond. Although the Ms. Perry said that she had pain in her shoulder, the court doesn't find that that is over and beyond what someone would be expected. The type of harm or injury that is greater than what is expected if someone was shot. So the court finds that that factor is not applicable to this case. Next, the state asks for the enhancement factors. The defendant possessed or employed a firearm, explosive device, or other deadly weapon during the commission of the offense. And the court finds that this factor does apply, and the defense concedes that it does apply. But the defense asks that the court not give great weight to this factor. But second-degree murder can be accomplished without a weapon. And so the court is going to give that some weight. And the court finds this factor applies because the defendant was seen on camera purchasing a gun. The defendant drove to Memphis from Sherwood, Arkansas with the gun, went to the victim's house with the gun, shot Mr. Perry, killed him, emptied the clip, and shot Miss Perry. And when police arrived, she had the gun in her hand. So the court gives this factor great weight against the defendant. She possessed the handgun throughout the entirety of carrying out this offense. So the court finds that that factor applies. So of course, given that great weight. Next, the defense filed for several mitigating factors. So the first factor that the mitigating factor that the defense raised is that the defendant acted under strong provocation. And I think the defense says that they were in this 2-year-long relationship, and she had a suicide attempt, and her world was brought to chaos and devastation with a disappearing text. And it was when he sent that text, she went into an emotional whiplash when he refused to walk her to her car. And at that time she said, "You broke my heart." The court finds that that's not strong provocation because, again, yes, he did not treat her the way that she wanted to be treated. But also, Miss Daniels was in this relationship with the pastor at the time. And although he didn't treat her, again, the way that she wanted to be treated, none of that was justified for Mr. Perry to be killed.
But the judge continues to say he didn't treat her the way that she wanted to be treated. She's totally omitting that the man had a wife.
The thing that made her snap was that he refused to walk her to her car, which is very troubling. And so even though they had been in a 2-year relationship and he had not treated her as she should be treated, the court finds that that's not strong provocation. That's just, I mean, I don't find that that's strong provocation. So the court is going to find that mitigating factor does not apply. Substantial grounds exist tending to excuse or justify the defendant's criminal conduct, though failing to establish a defense. And so the issue is the court doesn't find that substantial grounds exist tending to excuse or justify the defendant's criminal conduct. And the defendant testified that, and Dr. Beaton testified that she was suffering from a mental crisis at the time, or well, I think the defendant said, she was suffering from a mental crisis, and the defendant claims that she was not in her right mind, and that the defendant also claims that this should apply because she was in an affair with the defendant for 2 years, and he was manipulative. And so the court finds that the reason the court doesn't find that substantial grounds exist that would excuse the defendant's criminal conduct, because the court finds that the defendant was upset because he told her that the relationship was over and it didn't go the way that she wanted to, so she killed him. And so, again, Dr. Fitting said just because someone is suicidal does not mean that they cannot take deliberate actions. And the court finds that the actions that Ms. Daniels took on that day were deliberate, thoughtful, and intentional. And so she went and purchased a gun, gave her the ID, took the exits to Memphis, drove to the victim's home. And although he preyed on her insecurities, Miss Daniels also was an active participant in the relationship. She knew he was married. She went and had lunch with his wife. But you know, although he preyed on her insecurities, she was also an active participant in this relationship. So the court doesn't find that there's an excuse or justification for the defendant's criminal. A substantial ground exists to justify the criminal conduct in this case. Also, the next factor the defense raised, the defendant was suffering from mental or physical condition that significantly reduced the defendant's culpability for the offense. However, the voluntary use of intoxicant does not fall within this purview of this factor. And the law says that there has to be a causal connection between the offense and the condition. And Dr. Fitting's testimony was she couldn't say what her mens rea was at the time because the defendant didn't remember. And she said depression doesn't cause you not to make deliberate decisions. You can still be, she said that Ms. Daniels actually said to be sequential and goal oriented. And action suggests that she was able to plan and make judgments and that it was not a psychotic break where she was disorganized. She said, although she did say that her actions were contrary to her normal actions, but she could not say that a depressed person could not commit the actions of the defendant or that the depression would have specifically caused it. And so the court finds that based off that, the court's not going to find that the defendant was suffering from a mental or physical condition that significantly reduced the defendant's culpability for the offense. The next factor the defense asks the court to consider is the defendant, although guilty of the crime, committed the offense under such unusual circumstances that a sustained intent to violate the law motivate the criminal conduct. It is unlikely that a sustained intent to violate the law motivated the criminal conduct. And the court finds that this does apply because according to the letters that were written by, I think, over 20 something character letters, most people said that this was outside the norm for Miss Daniels. And I don't think that she would probably do this again. I think that this is aberrant behavior. This is something where she was upset that the relationship was over and just kind of lost control of her actions. So the court does find that that factor is applicable. Yes, and so I think there was a case where a defendant had never been arrested. She has no criminal history, and he was essentially a law-abiding citizen. And so the court does find that that factor applies. The commission of offense is unlikely that there was a substantial intent to violate the law was a motivation. The court just finds that her heart was broken and she just lost control of herself. So the court does find that that factor, the court's going to give that some weight for mitigation. Remorse, the court does find that the defendant is remorseful. Her testimony today, she was very tearful She apologized to the victim's family for her actions, and the court credits that, and the court will give that a little weight. No criminal history. The court's not going to find that for mitigation, but the court is going to give that some weight when we look at the lack or potential of rehabilitation. The court's going to give that some weight in her favor. She also wrote 8 books, so the court does find there is a potential for rehabilitation, and that she completed all those courses since she's been incarcerated. The court's going to give that some weight in her favor. When we look at the evidence at the sentencing hearing, we heard from 2 family members, the son and sister cousin of the defendant, who talked about how the character of the defendant, and the court is going to give that some weight in Ms. Daniels' favor. And again, the court does find that Ms. Daniels is remorseful.
Now let's just say this, Miss Daniels was married. She had her own husband. It was bad enough that she knew his wife, and it was bad enough that she would, when he decided he was going to end the relationship, that she would drive all the way from Little Rock, Arkansas to this man's house and knock on his damn door. His wife gave her some grace, because there's no way in the world that, but his wife knew her. So I don't think the wife knew that they were having an affair. So she drives there. I guess she tells the wife that they had been having an affair. Why the wife then blow her back? I don't know. Okay. Why she didn't, I don't know. And then she gets mad because he does not disrespect his wife. He already let her disrespect his wife. Okay. He already disrespect his wife. And then she says he wouldn't walk me to my car. That was the ultimate disrespect to her. Even though she had just totally disrespected his wife, he left her alone because he decided he was going to stay with his wife. And then she wants him to walk her to her damn car. And I guess she wants, I don't know. She stopped and got a gun. She was going to kill him anyways. She was going to kill him anyways.
Validated risk and needs for sentencing to court. I think
and then she shoot his wife.
And the court is taking that into consideration, but she does
if it had been me,
for mental
both
health
of them would have been
and
stressed
behavior,
out.
which
Him and
has
her.
been the case throughout. And also, I think one of the things was the employment history. And the court's going to give that some weight in her favor as well. When I look at the lack or potential of rehabilitation, the court's not going to find it as a mitigating factor because the case law says that the fact that a person has a fairly stable employment history does not entitle the person to a reduction in sentence, because every citizen in this state is expected to have a stable work history if the economy permits the citizen to work, and the citizen is not disabled or the citizen is not independently wealthy. So the court is going to take that into consideration when we look at her potential or lack of rehabilitation. And the court's going to do the same for work history. So the court has to also look at the pre-sentence report. And again, she has no criminal history, which is good. She graduated from high school, went to college, received her doctorate, has community service, and though she had these pending charges, she still was able to obtain employment and then continue on with her community service projects and her nonprofit. So the court's going to give that some weight. She also has substantial family support, all things that are beneficial to the defendant in looking at her potential or lack of potential of rehabilitation. And also, the court's considering the statements of the defendant and the proof at the sentencing hearing. So, in considering all those things and weighing all those factors, on the reckless endangerment, the court is going to sentence the defendant to 11 months and 29 days in jail. On the second degree murder, the court's going to sentence the defendant to 20 years. So that's going to be the 20 years at 100%, I believe. So that's going to be the order of the court.
Your Honor, may I ask for some clarifications?
Yes.
Just for appellate purposes. As to the mitigating factor regarding a positive work history, for employment, you said that you were looking at that regarding rehabilitation, but not as a mitigator. For work history, you said you were looking at that regarding potential for rehabilitation. Did you also find that as a mitigator?
I didn't find it as a mitigator, but I gave it weight in her favor for
And the community service, is that also considered as potential for rehabilitation, not as a mitigator?
yes,
The educational background?
yes. I'll give them weight for potential or lack of rehabilitation.
Okay, but not as a mitigator.
Yeah.
And her book, the writing of the books, you lean towards potential for rehabilitation, not as a mitigator? And the strong R, the low risk for recidivism,
I gave it some weight in her favor.
as towards potential for rehabilitation or as a mitigator?
Potential for rehabilitation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Anything else on the parties? All right, well, we'll show that sentencing here.
Your Honor, I have an order prepared, if I may pass it forward, just making very clear that this offense predated the truth in sentencing. She is eligible for the 15% gift credit. I think it's helpful for TDOC to have that outlined in a separate order.
Judge Easton was also indicted in 1904436.
Okay, so if you ask me, she's already eligible for 15% good credit. So altogether, I guess she got 21 years. She get 15% good credit. I mean, they're gonna subtract the amount of time that she's already been in jail. So they take 15% off. Let me see. She basically got away with killing him with her. Okay. Because I don't think she had a nervous breakdown. She just got mad. So he wouldn't leave his wife. She decided to go to his house and tell his wife. Let me see. Okay. She's not going to do that many years. She'll probably do about 17 years, 16 years. She'll probably be out in 15 years. When they get through with the 15% credit time she's already served and all that. I mean, she she basically got off, and she just killed a man because he decided that he was not going to he was never going to leave his wife for her. Okay. And the only reason why he probably ended the relationship with that day because she was constantly pressuring him, and it wasn't easy for him to just lay up with her like he was used to doing. She started putting pressure on him to leave his home. Why would he leave his home and mess up his church? He had a big church. Why would he do that for her? Okay, she got a husband. She knows his wife and all of that. And it seemed like to me she would have known better, but I guess she had dreams of she probably had already emotionally checked out with her husband, and her husband sitting right in court right now, supporting her. So she was have emotionally checked out, was ready to leave her husband if she had not already left him, and she thought that he would do the exact same. Um, she was weak minded, but she was highly intelligent. Okay. Oftentimes women be ready to throw it all away because their hearts make a damn fool out of them. And men just be talking. I don't care what kind of cloth they carry, they lies. Right? And so she wanted him to, I think she had already put herself in a position or thought she was his wife, because when she get ready to walk out of his house and he would not walk her to the car as if she had already just told his wife that they was having an affair. So he wouldn't walk her to the car to disrespect his wife even more. And that really triggered her. She was going to shoot him anyways. She probably went there to shoot his wife. Okay. And she got the opportunity to see, I've been a damn fool all this time. This man was never going to leave his wife, and he never loved me. So unfortunately, stuff like that, it's really sad when people don't know how to control their emotions like that. It was already wrong. The man had a wife, she had a husband. So there was nothing about that situation that it was never right. So it was never gonna work out anyways. Okay, because it was wrong. You can't build a sand castle and think you're gonna live in it happily ever after. No. Okay, he had already weighed his options. He just was not telling her. And the risk was it was just too much of a risk for him. He was not going to destroy his church, destroy his family. I don't care what he told her. And when it got too hectic for him, he decided he was going to leave her alone and go be with another side piece that was not haggling him. Okay, now she got her platted up head up in the court. She done killed him, and she basically killed the man for nothing. Hell, I'm sure that ain't the first man that ran game on her. He just happened to be a pastor. She had already had visions of being the first lady. She was delusional in a damn way, but she was highly intelligent. Okay, the bitch was just mean. Because that was mean to go and sit there with that man's wife. And what I can't understand is she shot the wife, but she didn't kill the wife. She kills the man. Why would the wife sit there and have a decent conversation with her? Because I would have stretched the ass out. The audacity of her to come to my house, bitch, I fear for my life. You comes from Arkansas to my house to tell me that my damn husband been having an affair with you and said he ain't gonna leave me, bitch, I fear for my life. And I'd have stretched her ass out and started popping at him too. Okay. But instead, they give her the opportunity to kill them. It ain't no way. I know you're supposed to be godly and all that, but that was just chaos to begin with. How could they ever sit down and have a damn conversation with her? Now, he was wrong because the wife was already blindsided. She didn't know why that damn woman was at her house. She was familiar with the lady. So he put his wife in the midst of that. I don't mean no harm. Okay. But these men gonna have to start thinking with the right head. Lord, forgive me if I'm wrong for saying this, but that's the reason why his ass stretched out right now for thinking with the wrong head, because he put his family in danger. Okay. Stop lying about what? Okay. Stop lying about what, gift horse? You don't think you don't think I'll stretch somebody? I'd have stretched him out. I'd have stretched him and her out. Okay. I fear for my life. You come up in my house with that, I fear for my damn life. Now, you say I'm too nice. I am a nice person now, but I got a real paranoid spirit. I be feeling like everybody. I don't. People now are really weird. Let me tell y'all something that happened today. I wanted to make sure it was a lot of people on here. Yeah, it was something that really disturbed my spirit today. I promise to God, I shedded some tears. Y'all, listen. There's this situation. Y'all, it's something that's gonna have to happen with the youth and the young adults. And parents are going to, I don't know what is going on, but there's a lot of mental illness that is going on. It's bad enough that they are stealing and killing and breaking into people's houses, y'all. But it's something different when these young guys, like 19, 20 years old, is breaking in on 81 and 82-year-old women and burglarizing their homes because they know that they're still living by themselves. And oh Lord, have mercy, Jesus. And not only burglarizing their homes, but sexually assaulting them. Okay. Pure D 100% violent rape. Okay. On 81-year-old women by 19 and 20 and 21-year-old boys. Okay. To the point it's so violent that they break the lady's hip. They had her legs up so high, raping a 80-year-old woman, 81-year-old woman. They had her legs up so high, violently raping this lady, that they break her hip. And so you mean to tell me that y'all telling me that snitching is the worst thing that could happen? These OGs is standing for this? These sissy ass OGs sit up and say to these young dudes, the worst thing that you could do is snitch. That's the worst thing that you can do. Okay? They'll sit and they'll dab them up and call them gangsters and my hitters and smoke weed with them and all that, and they raping 81-year-old women and breaking their hips. But the worst thing you telling me that these freaks can say is the worst thing you could be is a damn snitch and not a rapist, not a violator. Okay? And this shit is happening in Memphis. All right? Y'all, the only thing I can tell y'all is check on your grandmamas. Check on your grandmamas. Check on your mamas. Keep your guns on you. Because hey, it's just something about they want these it's a lot of messed up kids. And I don't think it's got nothing to do, and young adults, I don't think it's got nothing to do with them being no crack babies either. It's got everything to do with we can do what we want to do in Memphis, and they want to uphold this stuff, so y'all gonna have to lay they motherfucking asses down. If a bitch won't do nothing about their motherfucking kids, if they subject them to all of this, because see, you got to be traumatized. Okay? You got to be traumatized to even think about doing something like that. So if y'all want to uphold y'all no good ass kids and not hold them responsible and uphold them, stretch them out. Put their motherfucking asses in the goddamn grave, and maybe a bitch will do something about it then, because they bring out a whole bunch of terrorists like roaches. Okay? Stuff like that pisses me off. And a lot of these men uphold it because a lot of them are pedophiles deep down inside. Because if they don't see nothing wrong with that, if you could stand on the corner and smoke weed with a bitch like that, I don't care what their age is. It's something wrong with you. They sitting up killing somebody like Young Dolph because he great. Those are the ones that need to be laid down. I don't care how old they are. An 81-year-old woman, they try to treat her like she a young girl. You break her hip, they raping her so brutally, they got her legs up in the air and break her hips. You got a mammy that's trying to uphold it, and these bitch ass niggas don't hold them responsible for nothing. Ladies, get you a gun and start laying them down. If the law won't do nothing about them, if these no good ass women won't raise their damn kids right, you put them in their grave. Okay? Woo! That makes me mad. I had to get that off of my chest. And like the man said, before I take it back, I'll add more to it. Okay? Anyways, they can't tell me nothing about no drugs. I've been knowing folks that have been doing drugs forever. Okay? And they don't go and commit no acts like that. You can have somebody that's been on drugs for 50 years and they don't have no thoughts of raping nobody. I don't care how old they are. Stretch their asses out. Make them motherfuckers have to sell fish plates to, if they can't, and don't buy them so that they can bury them. Make them dig a hole in their damn backyard and bury their ass back down the damn matchbox or something. Okay? Anyways, let me move on to the next thing. Because stuff like that makes me mad. Whew, Lord have mercy. That makes me real mad. Anyways, y'all, I want to talk about, we talked about that. That lady that got off, that's a damn fool. She knew what she was doing. She was mad because he made an ass out of her. Folks get a fool made out of them all day, every day. Everybody done got played. Okay, everybody done got played. Take your losses and move on. Okay, that's what you have to do. Take your losses. These women gonna have to understand. Stop throwing your damn life away. Everybody done got played a little bit. Okay, everybody have. Boss up. Move on with your damn life. The best revenge is to boss up. Do better for yourself. Boss up. Move on. That's the best revenge. I don't understand why these folks ain't being told that. I love it when somebody think they've done something to me. I know I got a damn winner's mind. That's all right, bitch. You did that to me, but I'm gonna show you something. Okay? I'm getting ready to flex on your ass. I'm a boss up because I got a winner's mind, bitch. I'm a boss up and I'm a flex on your ass. That's how I'm gonna do that. And then I ain't gonna look back at you, because when you don't look back at them, that hurts them more than anything. Why don't these damn women know that? Go get you another man. Okay, get you somebody better. If you don't like him, if he good to you, you'll learn to like him. Okay, people are so shallow. No, he don't look like nothing. He'll be so good to you. I thought I didn't like him, bitch. I love him. He good to me. I loves him. Okay, if you just gotta have you somebody, but work on yourself. Because why you want to be with somebody that don't treat you right? I can't love nobody that don't treat me right. I ain't gonna chase that. I'm used to being treated good. Okay, I'm used to being loved. So I don't want nobody that I gotta lure into loving me, make to love me. That's the reason why I know a bitch was lying when they were sitting up talking about I paid a nigga. I ain't never had to pay no damn man. Never will. Every man I had was a real man. And if he wasn't my man for long. He tricked me. Okay. Because see, I know what a real man looks like. And taking care of one, giving one my money. I can't love no man. I got to get some money. He ain't going to get it. Because I need my bills paid. Okay? And any bitch that said that is a motherfucking lie. And they ain't going to say it to me. They're going to throw out little hints to try to keep that lie going, but they're not going to say it to me. Okay? Women need to learn their value. The reason why you got these little terrorists running around here right now is because there's a lot of women putting a lot of stock into trying to love some man that's treating them like they're a damn dog instead of putting that love into their damn children. Okay? Put that love into yourself and into your kids, and then you'll find, and then a man, because see, as long as women looking for men, it ain't gonna work out anyways, because that ain't even the order of it. Men are hunters by nature. Men decide that they want them a damn woman, and then they go and find them a woman. Okay? Not a woman chasing down some damn man. That ain't even how it's supposed to be. But evidently, a lot of women don't understand that. Okay? They don't understand it. Work on making yourself better. Spend some time with your kids. If the child's father ain't acting right in his life, if he ain't right, then you don't need him in your child's life, in your son's life anyway. Why you want a jacked up ass man in your son's life? The only thing he could do is make his life worse if he jacked up. When these women get the hollering about, you hear society, or they put all that stuff into that. Well, you know, he ain't gonna grow up right because he ain't got no father. That's something they trying to program in the heads of these young men, because women have been single mothers, a lot of them, since the beginning of time, and they've been raising children by themselves for a long time now. And there's a lot of single mothers that raise men of valor. That's a lot. Every man that came out of a single parent home is not a failure. And I rebuke that shit they putting into the atmosphere. So now you got a bunch of damn crazy ass, well, I can't raise my son right. He gonna be a failure cause he had his daddy. You knew his daddy wasn't shit when you went and laid with him. And see, that's something I can't understand. We all make mistakes. I ain't being judgmental. I got two. I ain't never had no husband. But I ain't going, and when I saw one wasn't gonna be right, I ain't going have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damn babies with him, and I saw one doing right with the other one, with the first one. But instead, people so messed up in the head. You hear women say, well, at least all my kids got the same daddy. What's that to brag about? He got the same no good ass daddy. Hell, at least when you got a girl that's got maybe 2 different baby daddies, at least she tried to move on and see if the other one was gonna do right. He ain't do right neither. So you stop having them. Okay? Don't be messing your life up having all these damn babies. Ain't nobody that no more. If you ain't got no means and no, people don't like talking about this stuff no more. Okay, instead they'll say, well, you know, these folks is judgmental. No, we gotta, hey, you don't condemn a girl because she got a whole lot of kids now. When the kids are here, you got to do what is necessary and make sure you bring them up in healthy environments. But if you can, if there, you could take some precaution before it happens. That's something that we need to do. Okay, we're not being proactive anymore. We're being reactive. Okay, and that's something that's got to stop in our community. People gonna have to get used to it. Ain't nothing wrong with being by yourself. Why you want to be with somebody that don't treat you right? I love my peace. I love my peace. I do exactly what I want to do. And when I want to go out with somebody, I say, yes, I'll go out with you. Okay. And I go and I sit and I have a drink with them or talk to them or whatever. And they go home and I go home. Okay. Because I don't get in the car with nobody. I don't trust these folks. I drive to, we going to meet. Okay. Because I don't want to have to. I just want to, I just want to be happy. Okay. Um, yeah. Anyways, I was great. Someone was wrong, but he didn't deserve to die. She loved him as long as he was doing his wife dirty for her. But the moment he decided, I'm not, this is over. I'm ending this for because he was gonna end it anyways. He probably already was had cheated on his wife with a lot of women. A lot of first ladies, when their husbands are pastors of churches, they stay, okay, because they like the lifestyle. They like to have the privilege of pulling up at the church and having a parking space with their name on it. They like to sit at the front of the church with their hat on, and they like for everybody to call them first lady. Okay, they to go through all that hell just for that. Okay, so a lot of them ain't gonna leave. You couldn't pull them away. Anyway, y'all, let's move on. I want to talk about Howard Barnett. Now, I've been talking about Howard Barnett because there are some great things that are happening from what I'm told. That was some things that could be great that's happening as it relates to Howard Barnett. I told y'all that one of my friends had called me uh, uh was it yesterday or the day before, and he brought up Howard Barnett and as it relates to Fayette County and Shelby County with going back out there. Okay. And I was told something else about where his car was found. Okay. How should I put it? Where his car was found, it is believed that there's a connection in that area to somebody. So, hey, listen, we just gonna constantly pray. I don't know what they got up their sleeves. I'm not in the loop as it relates to that. I think he just because I did the show, I think he just wanted me to know that there is some movement. There are some meetings and some discussions that's going on. And hey, listen, I don't know what else could happen. Okay, I don't. Um he he was kind of vague with me. He's always kind of talked in circles. Even it is say to me, which is why I was very adamant about not attacking the cookie shop. He did when I said to him, I said, I have not accused the cookie shop. And he said, good, good. If you haven't accused the cookie shop of being involved, he said, good. Okay. Well, in this situation, he kind of talks in parables, but he says enough to let me know that there is something that is happening. Okay. I'm breaking up. Child, you know, I don't know what it is about when I start talking about the Howard Barnett's case. I start breaking up. Y'all, am I still breaking up? Y'all, let me know if I'm still breaking up. She got 21 years. She got 21 years, you guys. And you're right, Justice for Doubt, because when I sent him that video um, that you did of that area, when he looked at it, he said, I went back and I looked at that area. I looked at video. I looked at area, and that's a really big area. Yeah, she got off real good because she's gonna end up doing like 7. She'll probably be out in 15 years. She'll probably be out in 15 years. So now I was saying that when I sent that video that Justice for Dolph had sent me to him, yeah, I did. I sent it to him, told him to look at it. He realized how big the area was. You always, I guess it always takes those veteran MPD officers with rank. I guess if you bring attention to something, maybe they can make some things happen because the new ones ain't gonna do shit. They have to be made to do it by the ones with rank. Okay. So yeah. Hey, positive vibes. Y'all let me know if I'm still breaking up. I guess they breaking me up because they don't want me to talk about Yo Gotti. They know he next. They already know he next on the agenda. So they want to start messing with the live. Okay, already. But we gonna pray for those that be messing with this live though. We're gonna put them in the hands of the Lord. Why? So, anyways, y'all, I want to talk about Yo Gotti. Okay, will Yo Gotti get away? Pregnant head. We're gonna talk about pregnant head. I heard, I think I may have said this, that the rumor is that Cornelius is gonna get a sweet deal. Um I don't know though. I don't really know how anybody would know that, because that would be strictly up to the judge. So I don't put a lot of stock in that. I don't put a lot of stock in it because I don't know how they would know that. I would think that nobody would know like what how many years he's going to get until um nobody would know how many years he's going to get. Hold on one second. Let me see some of you all. Until like let me know if I'm still breaking up. They are messing with it, or is something going on. I think they're messing with the internet. They're hacking into the internet. That's another thing that I brought up. How they hacking into the internet, that's a federal crime. But there are ways that you can you know, there are things that can be done about that. Am I still breaking up, you guys? Can y'all hear me? Say yes or no if you all can hear me. So y'all can't hear me. Okay. Am I breaking up? Let me know if I'm breaking up. I'm breaking up. I'm breaking up. Okay, y'all, they definitely are messing with the stream. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna go out and come back in. Hold on. Okay, y'all, I'm back. Now I went out to restart everything. Let me know if I am let me know if I y'all let me know if I'm still breaking up. Am I breaking up? Or am I is it let me see. I'm good. Okay. Cool. Cool. Okay. So let's talk about it. Okay. Let's talk about Yo Gotti. Will Yo Gotti get away? Okay. I know they don't be wanting me. Y'all can hear me now. Okay, I know they don't be wanting me that wanting to hear me talk about Yo Gotti, but I mean, I was starting to get tired. If they had just left me alone, I would have probably just went on ahead and got off, whatever. But I got off to to do something. But anyways, y'all, let's talk about Yo Gotti. Will Yo Gotti get away? Okay. Now we know that. So before I left, I was talking about Cornelius. Now that's what I heard about Cornelius. I don't know if it's true. Hey, that he's supposed to get a sweet deal. Um, Now this is just my opinion. Nobody has told has been working with the people sis, as they say, and talking about things that he knows about. Right. I think at this point Cornelius doesn't want to do a whole lot of time, and we all know that things can be worked out. Um, when people have information on unalivings or crimes that have not been solved, or crimes that could be going on right now, right? So I don't know. I guess we have yet to see that. Like I said, I don't put a lot of stock in that. That's just something that I heard, that he's supposedly getting a sweet deal. Um, Me, I can't see it. Um, I can't see like what they told me. I honestly can't see that. Me, I can't. I was told that he was to get about about 15. I don't know how the person that told me, I don't know how they would know that. That's not a lot of years for what he did, but I for some like I said, it was not a police officer or anything that told me that. It was somebody that was just talking, and I think they had heard it from like somebody else. So it could just I don't really see that happening. I would be shocked if he only got 15 years. I would be shocked. Because I kind of believe that she's gonna lay it on him. At least I was looking for him to get at least about like 30 or 40, 25, maybe to 30. I wouldn't have been shocked if he had gotten 40. I didn't think he would get two life sentences like straight drop guy, but 15? I that blew me. That blew me. And like I said, it was not a police officer or anything that told me that. How that person went, I don't know, because only the judge would know how many years they're going to give a person, not unless something has been, well, we know that he's he had said himself that his attorney had told feds. Okay, he said that himself. So, hey, I guess we have yet to see. Me myself, I cannot wait to see it because I don't know. Okay, I don't know. So, um, the only thing I could say is if he get 15 years, he really he been putting in a lot of work. But here's the thing about Cornelius. He don't care about people knowing what he do. Cause he feel like they I guess he feel like they sell him up the river. So I don't think he cares. Anyways, like I said, that's a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not though. I would be shocked if it was true. But if it is true, these ninjas better get scared because that means that he he done lit up the trail and put them on the scent of a lot of trails. That means he's lit up a lot of trails and it's a scent on them for real. So to only get 15 years, good God Almighty, I don't believe that. I hadn't said anything about it much because it's hard for me to believe. It ain't hard for me to believe, especially if he's already said he had been cooperating. I guess the thing that I would be thinking about next is, damn, it's gonna be a whole heap of indictments dropping. It's gonna be a whole heap of them, as the old folks say. If he only get 15 years, he definitely saw more than CSI. He's lit up some trails because shoot, he could light up some trails to put them in a position to take down a lot of people. And if he get 15 years, that's exactly what he's done. Okay. I think his information in the Young Dolph's case was limited to Hernandez, Govan, and Juke and Straight Drop, maybe. But definitely those two. Um, yeah, that could be crazy work. That's why I said I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe that. Now that person is a real gossiper. They listens for everything. But the person kept saying, "I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you." I don't know. Normally, when they the little gossipy ass, they be head dead on with some stuff because they be tapping around, eavesdropping everything. But that right there, I don't necessarily believe. I don't believe that one. I don't know why. It's hard for me to believe that one because I ain't been seeing no indictments dropping on no other cases. If I saw a whole lot of indictments dropping and stuff, like if I start seeing them, if I start seeing some indictments start dropping before he is sentenced, I'll sit back and go, oh, okay, he might that might be true, but I haven't been seeing any drop. Um, they said judge will give him more time so she wouldn't look that bad for what she did in Gomez's case. Cause I'm gonna tell y'all something. I was looking for him to get like 30 years, and 30 years is generous. And simply because he cooperated, I was like, I would be surprised if he got 25, but I was looking for 30, like 30 to 40. I was looking for that. But 15? 15. Oh man. Oh, that man. What's that Ronald Isley, the Isley Brothers song? I got work to do. That's Cornelius' song right there. Which ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm a real big fan of working. Okay. I'm a big fan of working, of letting the Lord use you. Okay, it's a beautiful thing and it is a blessing. And don't ever let nobody tell you that it's not. Oh Lord, it's 7 o'clock already. It's 7:30. Can you hear me now? Jair, can you hear me now? Listen, y'all, make sure you all, I got a campaign going. Make sure y'all donate to the channel. Okay. Donate to the channel. I haven't been getting any donations. Donate to the channel, donate to the cash out. It's income tax time, so I don't get no income tax. So did y'all income tax check hit y'all account? Cause I need to go buy me another roast beef for $43. Cause I still got a half of one, but then I put my foot in that roast beef. Have y'all ever tried the Mississippi mud roast beef? Oh, let me talk about Yo Gotti right quick before my mind starts to wander and drift. Y'all know my mind drifts when I get thinking about other stuff. Okay, so will Yo Gotti get away? Now let me just say this: I don't believe that Yo Gotti is going to get away. I believe they're going to get Yo Gotti one way or the other. If they can't get him on this Young Dolph thing, they're going to get him on something else. Okay, and if they don't get him, they're going to get somebody close enough to him to make him hurt, whether it's on taxes or something like that. I shouldn't have said that. Now they'll go have their accountant to make sure them taxes and stuff tied it up because he is a fan of the show. But I do know this: they really want him bad for his part in this Young Dogs thing because he definitely was a payor. Okay, which means he is the root of the problem. So that's why I say I don't think that he'll directly get away. I do believe that they're going to end up getting him on something one way or the other. Okay. It's a lot of dudes out there that's jealous. All it takes is one person being mad. I believe he'll keep the people that's closest around him kind of fed. Okay. He'll keep them fed. So probably at this point in time, so that they can that he paid for them to kill that boy. He know he did that. That's something he knows. That's not something that I'm making up. None of us made up. He knows the part that he played, and he knows that it was not right. I believe Black Youngster got something to worry about too. And I get to talking about Black Youngster. Black Youngster has to pay for what he did. Thank you, darling, for petty marijuana. Thank you for the cash out. I mean for the super chat. Um, I get to talking about Black Youngster. I hate that Black Youngster have done this to himself, and I really hate he did this to himself, and he may could have barely skated by with this Young Dog thing, but I think Black Youngster's too high strung, and then he went and he probably got himself caught up in something that he's not going to be able to get by with, and he's going to take a whole lot of other young dudes down with him in the midst of it. But I feel like these young dudes are going to have to stop doing anything for money. Hey, we've sat on here, we've preached this for 5 years. Hey, listen, I hate that Black Youngster got himself caught up in this. Y'all know I always talk about, and I talk about this because it comes from my heart. Growing up in Clementine and seeing like the struggle that the families, especially around that time, around the 80s and stuff, and just it's something when I had the opportunity. I remember like Vanessa would call me, and she would always say, because like Vanessa was my first friend. Okay, I was in the kindergarten and she was my first friend, That's the earliest memory that I had of being in the kindergarten and us walking home from school. Because at that time they lived in the same complex as us, and our mamas had started having us to walk to school together, right? At that time, Black Youngster's mother was not coming around. Later on, Black Youngster's mom, I remember Tammy started coming around, and she started spending a lot of time at Venice's house. Okay. So so I used to love it when Tammy came around. You know, she was always just me remembering Tammy, which is Black Youngster's mom, just me remembering her as a little girl. When she would come around, we would play like mamas, because Venice's mama was always very strict. So everything was always really structured. And so when Tammy would come around, we would always play like mamas. And I loved it because she would always be like the teacher, because she always had like a maturity that the rest of us didn't have. Like she always had like a motherly maturity. Okay. She was a few years older, like a couple years older than me, because I'm Vanessa the same age. But she just always had like a maturity. You could tell like her atmosphere was different. She had a maturity about herself. And so when all this stuff happened, Vanessa was like, "You know who Black Youngster's mother is, don't you?" I was like, "No," because I had not seen Tammy since I was 12 years old. Okay. I had not seen her. She stopped coming around. I stopped seeing her come to Venice's house and spend the night when she was about 12. And she said, "Tammy is Black Youngster's mom." And I was like, I could not. And I started thinking about, I looked at Black Youngster's pictures and how he smiled. And I always tell y'all this, his mother, Tammy, smiles exactly like him. They got them black gums, everything. Like Tammy was a pretty girl though, right? So, anyways, just seeing like the them growing up, like their family came from like Claiborne Homes, Foots Homes, like all of those projects downtown was saturated with Black youngsters' family. And so when I was growing up, when I would be around Vanessa and I would go with them, like be going over there with them to her family members' homes and stuff. Um, I had the opportunity to see before Black Youngster was ever even born, like how many relatives he lost to like death. Like they was Benice would comment, my cousin Terry was killed, such and such was killed. Like I was always going to funerals with them as a like a preteen, on up to like a preteen, like because I grew up around these people. So I always went to the funerals with her and her mama. So um so for him to see the struggle of their family, to see like the dark, like how much death that was in their family, the poverty that was in their family, to see somebody like him make it out, okay, to have the opportunity to change his life, and to, if he was business savvy, to help maybe to change some of his family members' lives. Um, but I really, Black Youngster went out bad. Okay, he really did. And so I don't get on here and I don't say a whole lot about him, because I might throw a shot or two out, but I have to. I mean, I grew up around his family, so when people say, "How come you don't talk about him?" Is I guess they think that they can make me feel a certain way. I'm a real grown woman. Like I've been grown for a long time, right? So I don't let people do that to me. So when they say, "Well, you don't talk about him because you know his family," I say, "You goddamn right. You motherfucking right. I don't. I don't like what he did as it relates to the young Dolph situation. He was wrong. He was wronger than two left legs. I don't appreciate it. But I don't get on here and talk about his brother that hurt me when they killed his brother. Okay. Especially the last one, Tamani. Um, so I don't talk about that either, because I know people be wanting to troll and talk about Tamani. Tamani was a good dude that took care of his family. He was like, he got out and he worked and stuff. Like he didn't have anything to do with that young Dolph situation. And I think Tamara made it clear that he hate that situation happened. He had known some people in that camp and he didn't want no parts of that at all, right? And so for that boy to kill him like that, that was messed up. You know, that was just messed up to take that man from his family and stuff. Somebody that was already struggling with whatever issues he may have had and questions that he had, you know, as it relates to him, what, you know, all of the stuff that he put on his page. I don't have to bring it up, but I just think that it is very unfortunate because Black Youngster is going to have to lay down at some point. Um, and I don't know if it's going to be for young dog. I don't know which is going to be first. You know, I don't know which one. You know, whatever happens, I just, the spirit of the Lord tells me he gonna have to go lay down. They're gonna get him. Okay, they're gonna get him. And so it's really unfortunate. I hate that. Because I think deep down, I don't think that Black Youngster is a evil person. I think he just a stupid person that wanted um that put Gotti in a place that he should have only had God, right? Um, Black Youngster was funny. They could have got him into movies, comedy movies, all of that. You know, when this stuff happened with Dolph, now you see the dark cloud over his head. His eyes are dark. You know, people can say what they want to. Venice and them are very close to Black Youngster, okay, and they have the opportunity to see as a family more things and know more things than you all would know, and so Venice don't get on my show as much anymore because you know she'll just let it all out. And as my friend, I don't want, and I don't think she cares, but I don't want her putting too much stuff into the atmosphere that could, you know, get herself hurt as it relates to Yo Gotti and stuff. But anytime you hear people's family members, you saw his auntie was on the show. That's his damn mama's sister. I don't know how these bitches on here think they supposed to know more than them. So if they sit up and say that if they sit up and say that you know what Yo Gotti did, you know, manipulated him because he wanted acceptance. He was so grateful to Yo Gotti for giving him the opportunity to make some money, but you don't go and ruin your life for a man. He could have, if he had kept going, he could have made the money anyways. And so now he's put himself in a position where at some point they gonna come and get him and he gonna lose it all because they're gonna make him lose it defending himself and then he still ain't gonna win. He just gonna be destitute, right? And at some point it's gonna happen, you know, and I hate that because but everybody has to pay for their sins. And I say that and from a standpoint, I hate that because I've seen all down through the years what his family has gone through before he was ever even born, the type of circumstances and poverty and stuff, as I said, and you know he's lost his brothers, which had nothing to do with the young Dolph case. You know, I was trying to tell folks that, you know, I guess because I guess some of these folks know more than me. I done grew up around the family my whole damn life. I guess they know more than me too, right? You know, I grew up around God and them, bitch. You don't know, you don't know more than me. You could never. Okay, you could never, because it's a lot of stuff I don't say out of loyalty. And she probably wouldn't even care if I said it. I just ain't gonna say it. But they've got on here and said enough to let y'all know that they know that he used him. That Black Youngster knows that he used him. But Black Youngster gonna have to lay down for his sins because he's too stupid. He's made the wrong decisions over and over and over again. It's just I don't know what to say. other than your sins will find you out. And that's all I got to say about that. You know, your sins will find you out. And at some point, they're going to come and get him for one thing or the next. And like I said, these young dudes are going to have to stop doing anything for money. I've said this so many times. Like, even before I started working for the feds, I would do contracted work. And I get the opportunity now to see things up close. I don't know how these dudes ever think that they're gonna win. Uh, you know, I just don't. I don't know how they think they're gonna win. I would never want to go up against an entity, because I know a lot of people be thinking that Yo Gotti is God, but I would never want to go up against an entity that cannot run out of money. The federal government don't run out of money. They don't. You don't ever see them televising any of the federal cases or anything like that. A lot of times they drag out and they drag out, and I'm glad that they don't. It's real dirty up in there. Okay, and you are not going to win. Okay, you are not going to win, because if it starts to drag out too long, they'll find ways to sanction your account where you can't even spend no money so that they can dog walk you. Now, who would want to go up against an entity like that? Okay. So, anyways, yeah, at some point, I guess Yo Gotti, he got him houses overseas and stuff. I guess he trying to make his way to Bali, Bali, or whatever they call it, well, whatever Russell at. I guess Russell got a hotel room for him. Y'all know Russell got running a hotel over there, so I guess he got a hotel room over there for Gotti too, because they're gonna sooner or later. I just don't think that the federal government is gonna be satisfied knowing that Yo Gotti and whoever these other people were paid for that damn hit, and they out. Okay, I don't. I think even more so, more than Quet, Cornelius, and not Straight Drop. Straight Drop been in so much shit, y'all. Not him. I can't even add him in that. But even more so, more than Quet, more than with his stupid bald head ass, because he's stupid too. Because I get so damn tired of these old ass men sitting up making all these badass decisions. They sit up, got kids and stuff. Um, and old as dirt, and making all these damn crazy badass decisions. But even more so, more than him, than Charlie Brown, blockhead Charlie Brown Quit, and Cornbread, not not Straight Drop, y'all, not him. And y'all know what? It's a sad thing, because I don't get no pleasure out of, like, Straight Drop. His, I get to wondering. I believe Straight Drop just got a lot of evil in him. Okay. He got a lot of evil in him. Mm. But they wanted God even more so, more than them. And I'll just say that. Okay. um, but Will gotta get away. No, I know a lot of people say I don't want nobody to kill him. I'm not evil. I definitely don't want that. But I do want him to go and pay his retribution to society for what he did, because um he didn't have to put the money up to have that young man killed. And that young man, I'm talking about young Dolph. Okay, so he gonna have to pay for his too, his part. He gonna sure get to know who God. Yeah, he gonna get to know who God is. I think Black youngster definitely grew up in a family that he knows who God is. That's why I don't really understand why Black youngster put um Gotti in a high place that he should only have had God. And God says there should be no other gods before me, and so he's gonna have to pay for that. I think he's already paying for it with the hurt and pain that he's going through, knowing that he was used. Now, what's gonna happen is when when it's evident of them getting close to getting Yo Gotti, he's gonna go and he'll start showing Black youngster affection again, so that he can see Black youngster so misled. He didn't even realize that when they was having him after young Doc was killed, everybody knew that Yo Gotti and them did this, right? And everybody else that was involved too, right? So what they did was they was letting Black youngster put out them videos because there was a lot of emotion and a lot of hurt and pain when young Doc was assassinated. The emotions were still high. So they knew somebody was going to have to go. It reminds me of when they took out Tupac, and Gene Deal says Puffy knew that somebody had to die. So what they did was they was gassing Black youngster up to diss Dolph, and they let him put out that song. What was the name of that song? He was at the graveyard and all that. They let him put that shit out, and therefore all of that negative energy could be directed at him. Okay, he was the one that was expendable. So take the even though everybody know my brother was involved, we'll use him as a distraction because he already knew it was a lot of dudes that was around young Dolph that had money, right? So if anybody was gonna get knocked down, it would have been Black youngster. That's why they was letting him do that, right? Then Yo Gotti realized that the folks was on his ass too. Okay. He realized that, and he was advised to go quiet. He didn't go quiet for nothing because he was not quiet when it first happened. Remember, he was talking about we the last man standing. We this. He was putting out little subliminals until they told him we're gonna walk your ass down. You got to be a damn fool if you think he ain't been questioned several times. I, I know folks think he got and he got MPD in his pocket, but it I'm telling you now that it happened. Okay. And if he's truthful, he'll say it, but he's gone quiet because it scared the shit out of him. So that's when he started talking about y'all keep my name out of that shit. He even threw his brother up under the bus when he know he told his brother to go and find some folks to take the boy out. Okay. And you had a bunch of damn fools that did it for some money. It's a damn shame when people have made, especially in the Black community, they've made money and sex a god. They put that in the place. They'll worship that all day before they ever worship the real God, okay? The true living God. And that's the reason why they end up looking like a bunch of damn fools, okay, in the end. That's right. He was talking big crap. He know he did that boy dirty. I just wonder who them other ones was that they found out wanted him unalive. Okay, I wonder who those people were. I think I need to start exercising. Every night around at 8 o'clock, I start getting sleepy. It's something ain't right. But I wakes up real early though. I wake up early, so I guess that's why I goes to bed early. Y'all, my job is sending me on a trip in a couple weeks. and I'm so happy. I loves to go get training. That's all right. They got these hackers and stuff on here. As a matter of fact, the training I'm going to is for cyber training, federal cyber training. So, and they put me up real nice. I think my hotel is on the 15th floor. It's either the 12th or the 15th floor. I like going to different cities to try to. I like to go to the original restaurants. Um, I like to go to the original restaurants that are not in my city. So like those restaurants that are, it's not chains in every city and you can only go to that particular city. That's the restaurant I'm gonna go to. I don't order chicken and shit when I'm away from home because I buys a lot of chicken. Okay, so I be trying other stuff. I don't eat hamburgers when I'm away from home. Um, let's see. He says it's Lambert and Evelyn who they found out who they find out to gotta be them. You're going to start hacking after the 7th. I was talking to the computer guy today, the cyber guy today. He was like, "Well, you have to you're gonna have to let me see, bring me your computer off the clock." I was like, "That's cool," because I think he do a little stuff outside of work. I think he'll be at the seminar. I think I'll take my computer so that he can go ahead and run some checks on the child. I'm sure I got a lot of security breaches and stuff that's going on. I don't know what they think they're gonna see in my computer. It don't be none going on. I plays the Oregon Trail. That's my favorite game. Okay, you got to be a damn fool to want to see that. It helps me to relax my mind playing the Oregon Trail. Um, mhm. Oh, cause my mind be running a mile a minute. Yeah, I've been doing so good in class. I've been passing my legal classes with flying colors. There's some federal attorneys training coming up. I told them I want to be in the class. I want to go to that class. I know it's the attorneys class, but I want to be in it. I like listening to the new laws and the new prosecutory shit that they have going on. Okay. He said he could probably set up listeners. Um, yep. Yeah, I'll open up the lines. You all can call in. I'm gonna open up the lines for y'all to call in. That's if I can find the phone. Hold on, y'all. Oh, never mind. The phone is dead. He said it's Evelyn and Lambert. So why you feel like they would have wanted him unalive? Um, yeah. Now listen, you all. For those of you all that are that's in the chat, just based on like all the time that y'all have heard me on here, let's just say I decided to go on and go to law school because I am gonna go. Um, I don't want to be a defense attorney, but let's just say I decided to be a defense attorney. Would you all hire me to represent you in the courtroom? Am I the type of attorney that y'all would hire? Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button for me, okay? Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe, okay? Y'all could put some questions in the chat, though, since the phone is dead. Y'all could put some questions in the chat, and I will answer them. Ant Dog says, I'm not trying to be in court. um, Gigi said, I might be too expensive. But that's true. I probably would be. You're supposed to be expensive though, but you're also supposed to do your very best. But you're supposed to be expensive. I believes in that. I believe in being expensive. And if they can't pay it, they just can't afford you. Oh, let me pull Justice for Dolph. Put that video in the chat. Let's pull that up. That's what I was intending to pull up. Oh, let's look at this, y'all.
Actually getting it ready as we speak. So we're going to take you to that now so you can hear what they're saying. Let's go.
Is
that capital A?
Yes.
Talk about the outcome. Was it what you were expecting with the sentence?
So I didn't really know what to expect with the sentence. That's largely in the judge's hands. We're fairly certain it was going to be between 15 and 25, and it hit right in the middle. So I guess it's what we expected.
The sentences be served consecutive or concurrent?
They are concurrently.
And anything on parole? I know they didn't speak about that.
Right. So this crime occurred before the current law.
I think it's messing up again. Can you all hear me? She said somehow my comment. What comment was that, Ashley? So they're deleting the comments. That means they've gotten a hold of my chat. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I see where it says somehow my comment was deleted. I don't see where there are any deleted comments. Oh, um, oh, okay. So I know what I wanted to show that video. Stop, boy. Let's see. So y'all, what I'm gonna do is from now on, when I give updates on Cornelius, and if I get updates on Howard Barnett, I'm gonna put it into my platinum. I'm gonna start putting it into my platinum membership. I'm gonna start back doing my membership to keep you all updated on what is going on with those situations when someone says something, when someone tells me. Hold on, you all. I don't see it. Justice for Dolphin. I don't see that video. Move. Get out the way. Move. Get out the way. Let's see. get out of the way. Oh, here it is, Justice for Howard.
We said this location was in the middle of everything. Federal institution. Didn't we recently cover Hernandez, Govan federal snitching paperwork? Well, guess what? Him, T-Rex, and others were on the lockdown down there. I was told by somebody about that institution and how people would be familiar with that area just because of that correction center. Well, this was period about 3 to 4 years before Howard's disappearance. I find timing and location very important, proving Rat Boy Govan knew the area when they were plotting on poor Howard. Also confirming what Mr. Barnett said, that is a well-known area where both Trella Mafia and the Memphis crew take people and get rid of them. Trella Mafia knew about that area because Govan put them on the game. A lot of people burn a lot of things in that area, from grass to wood to large waste, and so on. It would never be suspicious down there if anything is burning, right, Govan? And then somebody said something brilliant to me. If that car was burning at night and trees covered the view of the actual fire, nobody would see smoke at night. Why? Because Govan and them only burn cars at night for that exact reason. Right, Quet? If I was going to make a lucky guess, Marcus has purchased that van at an auction, but could be a...
It's something because, I do believe that Cornelius had a story recently about about the car being burned up and where it was to be taken to be burned. I think the location that he told them that the car was supposed to be taken to be burned piqued the interest of a few people.
Another Howard's partner. The signature I just leaked is one of the biggest clues of Govan's green light and assistance after the fact. This has exactly played out the same way in Dolph's case. Poor Desmond got killed because he called police before they could torch the car and get away with Dolph's case. Govan loves to be part of murder plots to have as many bodies as possible. That's why his eyes opened wide when he heard from Justin he plans to kill Howard. And that's why he told him about Mason area. Did you all see how Cornelius said in court how Govan told them to torch the car? This not only proves it for Dolph's case, but also for Howard, because I got that confirmation at the same place. Another thing Mr. Barnett mentioned was Howard's belonging, because dogs can really help find his remains. We will contribute our educated guess where Howard could be in a minute. Did y'all hear this? Lil Shara Wright blocked the entire family after the incident on social media, screaming guilty and hiding some shit.
Rest in peace, Desmond Rogers. Thank you from the people for what you did. We got your and Howard's back today. Rest in peace, Howard. And of course, our dear Dolph. Let me show them another one in all your honor. They can't hide anymore.
Right now, you're still smoking. Okay, so we'll go again.
Who remembers this address from the first episode? Correct. That is the last smoke shop's registered address and every rapper's favorite uncle's address. His wife, Lakeisha Anthony, is also registered on that address. That makes sense, right? So what would happen if I click on her name to see where they previously lived? Mason, Tennessee. Seemed like she has been there since 1997. Her family is Heron, and there are quite few of them associated with that address. Could Don Heavy be related to her too? Anyway, this address is in Mason, Tennessee. The first thing that came to my mind when I saw this page is Howard's minivan. That location is not in dense populated area, and something told me to immediately go and check the distance between her house and his burned minivan. On Google Maps, you can check the distance. Only 5 minutes away. Wow, remember how Howard's van was missing for 6 days, and as soon as they put City Watch out, the next day or the day after, the van just pops up right here, by coincidence. Yeah, right. Somebody knows about this area and where to drop it off. The same with a white Mercedes. Do you see the pattern here now? It's always at straight cop house or trap house until the public starts looking for it. Then, in a day or two, the vehicle is found torched. From the satellite point of view, you can see even better how close these two locations are. We could say two fields between that are divided by a streamline. Howard's van was found on the bottom location. From aerial view, you can kind of tell the property lines. It seems like the car was found on the brown square or by the streamline or in the green area north from it. Howard car could have also been kept at her house those 6 days, and at night they drove the car a few minutes to the first farmer, torched the car, and left. This makes me think that if I would make a guess where they left Howard was in the almost opposite direction of the minivan. If I was police, I would look here first. Look at where they found phone, right by Straight Cop's house. This is the distance with and without going around following the roads. Let's take a look at this from the Google Earth point of view. This area right here would be farmer's property where the minivan was found. The minivan was probably found somewhere out here. Because if they torched the car by his house, he would have called the fire department.
Y'all, they messing with the live.
This right here is Lakeisha's house in question. First property to the right of the Hopewell Baptist Church. Now, it only gets better from here. This is a large shed on the property with metal sheet type of doors. If you use Street View, you'll be able to see a variety of all kinds of cars through time in this area here. So it would not be unusual to have Howard's car stashed there those first 6 days. Again, this is where the car was found, and this is where Lakeisha Anthony is found. Let's take a look at something here. So, This is the main house on the property. Pay attention to all different types of cars on the grass. Back to the shed. Please pay attention to the metal sheet door. It is just something spooky about this shed. About a year after Howard's disappearance, Straight Cop and his Trollia Mafia members have shot the music video where they're showing what they did to Howard Barnett. Straight Cop has named the song Letter to Ops, which is a message to their new enemy paper route empire, showing what they did to their own crew member, so the enemy can only think what will Straight Cop's crew do to them. What do you see in background? Yes, metal sheet door. Either they are that stupid and shot made sure scenes featuring when they are outside was recorded in Orange Mound. The other half was recorded either in the same shed or at another location representing the shed as a subliminal. These type of doors would not be found in the cities. They would be usually on the large farm shed, just as the one I showed you. Govan. Are we going to tell people who paid for this video? Check out Daryl Smith, one of the highest ranking Trollia Mafia and Shada fam members. Little Rashad, Felix, and more are all part of this video.
To elaborate, on the right in that red hat is Daryl Smith, one of the people who would for sure know details of Howard's situation, being one of their gang leaders. As you can see on the picture, he was part of the video shoot, subliminally telling the world what they did to Howard and being one of Dolph and Paper Route haters. Also in that added picture down the middle, you can find him in the same studio same weeks when Straight Cop was recording his music back in 2021. Of course, little Shara Wright Jr. liking that picture, because she was probably in the studio that day with all of them. Now, Teasy and Justin were very, very close to Daryl and his brother D'Angelo. D'Angelo is real crazy, which would qualify him to do some wild stuff to Howard. This is a picture from June 2021 after Daryl, D'Angelo, Justin, and Teasy just came back from a Miami trip where they were taking picture inside and outside Mim's family apartment. We will show you all that. Don't go digging, sit back and relax, because Justice Fordolph wants people to get the full story the first time without goofy breaking news. Don't even talk about it until I get to Miami trip and them. I got so much materials on that one. Anyway, we were going to give a pass to brothers Daryl and D'Angelo from the documentary in respect of somebody we fuck with. However, since that goofy seizure dancing circus act NLE Choppa pulled a play and was playing a serious game on Dolph Kids, he has earned their spot back in the documentary. without holding back. Daryl is one of Shot Fam leaders as well. That gang and Ellie is clouching off. Congratulations to Daryl and D'Angelo, you have officially made the documentary since the music didn't work out. This story about participation in plot against young Dolph just might do it. Over there in that red shirt is yo boy Rashad Hill Sanders, one of Justin's closest crash outs. He was part of Hit, on Paper Out Woo, and overall entire plot on Young Dolph and his artists. Keep an eye on his story in the documentary too. He can thank that federal informant Govan for making the documentary without holding back. If any little Trulla would know full details of what they did to Howard step by step, it is most definitely him. Now, if I was going to make the starting five of Little Trulla's part of plot on Howard, I would put Straight Cop on point guard distributing the play. Little Rashad on shooting guard, always ready to crash out and shoot up people. I would put Daryl's brother D'Angelo as a small forward ready to dunk on everybody with his crazy ass. His brother Daryl would be a power forward because he is big in the game and one of the Trulla/Shot Fam leaders. And of course, CEO Teasy at the center because he is heavy in the game, rebounding all the loose ends. Govan is, of course, their coach. Not part of the plot on Howard, but Paper Out Woo and Key Glock might know some details, being very close to all of them until the summer of 2018. They gotta know some shit, especially Woo, being the first one to smash Little Demon, Ho Rick Kayla, before Stray Cop.
Okay, y'all. Now they're saying, and this is allegedly, that allegedly in this video, allegedly Straight Drop is what's the word that I'm looking for? Reenacting what he allegedly did to Howard Barnett. Allegedly. He's reenacting what he in this particular video. Allegedly. I don't, what had happened to Barnett. Oh, Lord Jesus. It was just something about that did something to me. anyways, you all listen. It's really sad, that people do things of this nature, and um, I'm hoping and praying. I don't know. It's a lot of stuff just going through my mind. Because my friend did make a little mention about them, where the point of where they forced him. They took him by force. Um, so I don't know. Sometimes people um, sometimes people start giving information after years have passed. I don't know if that's what's going on, but I think it's really sad, all of the events that have happened. People losing their lives, and it's just really sad. I certainly don't know um, what happened to Howard, but it does seem suspicious. What definitely his death is. I mean, not his death, but his missing persons case is definitely suspicious. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of the people that was around him, um, that seems suspicious. So um, I'm praying for peace. I thank God that they're revamping a lot of stuff in the near future with MPD. And one of the things that they're doing is making the cold case bureau bigger by bringing back a lot of those old head homicide detectives that got cases solved. And I think that is a good thing. Um, I do believe, hopefully, when Chief Davis leaves, that the relationship that they have developed with um, partnering with the federal entities, they continue that. I don't know. I don't know if Thurman Richardson is coming back. Richardson was a good guy. He really was. He needs to. He Richardson probably sitting at the casino every day. Um, he probably sitting at the casino every day. They love the casino. He and his wife. Anyways, y'all, I've been on here long enough. It's 8:30. I don't know why I be getting so tired. Y'all know Auntie be getting tired. I got some homework I gotta do. I will stay on here with you all longer. It's these winter months because I've been taking my vitamins and stuff real good. I be having energy in the daytime. I just be tired at night. So um yeah. Any more questions before I get off? Anybody in the bushes? Anybody in the bushes? He says, I got an appointment with him soon to talk about everything. Good. That's good. Anyways, you all, I'm gonna have to get off of here. I'm really tired. I have some more things to do, and I need to get ready for. I need to take a. I'm ready to soak in. I am such a. I love the spa experience. I love to soak in the tub with my bath bombs and my oils and stuff. Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all something that I did. I used to always buy these bubble bath from these bubble baths from the container was of a it was in a bear, in a little bear, right? I tried it one time. I fell so in love with it. Like the aroma of the bubble bath, it was like no other. Like it would have the whole house lit up. So I used to, they was expensive. So I would, when I would see them at like Marshalls and places, because it was I was at Marshalls and TJ Maxx. I would try to get me a couple of them because they was expensive. So they stopped carrying them. So I would buy them every time I went. So I looked it up and I saw they was not carrying them anymore. So I went through directly through the company, and when the company, um, it's like an organic bubble bath, okay, and I ordered me like all of them that was on the site to smell the other scents, and I love it when I run my bath water and put some of that in there. I'm so weird. I'm weirded out because I have like these um um ball things. I forget. I don't know what my head. I forgot just that quick. That bath bombs. I like to throw them in my bath water and watch them like fizz out all over the tub. I just love the spa experience in the bathtub. And when I get out, I falls out and go straight to sleep. Cause when you smelling all that lavender, all of that aroma, it helps to relax your mind and all of that. I even spray lavender on my pillow at night. It helps me to sleep real good. So I think everybody should have the spa experience in the comforts of their own home. Anyway, y'all. I want you all to please like, share, and subscribe. Listen, y'all have a good night. Let's say a prayer. Dear God, I just thank you for everyone that was on this live. I ask that you shield and protect everyone and their families that was on this live, to include my very own that was on here that meant well. No weapon formed against any of us shall prosper. Any lying tongue, any evil thoughts, anything that tries and rise up against us will be condemned. If there were any people in here with evil thoughts, spoke out spells, curses, anything that was not of God, we curse it at the root and send it back to the sender, and may it manifest in their very own lives in less than 30 days. So each and every time you have an evil thought about me, any of my subscribers that mean well, any curse that you try to speak out is spoken out on you. So you better be careful about who you put your mouth on. Anyways, you all, I love you all. You all have a good night. It has been an absolute pleasure to be on here with y'all. I love you all. I'll talk to you later.